Peace, everybody. So today I wanted to make a video talking about Mars fixing into transition into the sign of Taurus. Now, first of all, Mars. Let's do a brief description on what Mars represents. Mars represents your drive. In a lot of different ways, Mars represents the way that you move, the kind of energy that you jump in order to actually go and get your goals accomplished and everything. If you had a Gemini Mars, the way that you're driven is, you like to communicate with people. You try to reach your goals by maybe going into sales. You achieve your goals by researching. You achieve your goals by putting on a persona in order to, win a crowd over. If you had Mars in Leo, this is my Mars placement. Your drive, what makes you give the energy to be able to want to reach your goals and everything, deals with, wanting to be involved in creative endeavors. Like I play guitar. Astrology is a creative endeavor too, as well as creating digital prints and then posting them onto Etsy as far as a business, because Mars deals with business too, because it's exalted in the sign of the 10th house in Capricorn. Not the sign of the 10th house, but Mars is exalted in the sign of Capricorn, which is also associated with the 10th house, and the 10th house is all about business, structure, foundation, your public image. So Mars deals with that kind of energy also. Now, Mars at the same time deals with aggression. It deals with anger. It deals with frustration. It deals with, belligerency in a lot of different ways. So wherever Mars is in your chart, that kind of lays the blueprint, and then alignments based with Mars, built the blueprint of how your aggression is played out. Pardon me. If you have Mars in Aquarius, you may the way you deal with your frustration, you just may be very aloof. You may not even have fits of rage and everything. You may just ghost people, and that's your way of expressing your frustration and your anger towards somebody. If you have Mars in Pisces, this means you express your frustration via art, via arts and crafts, via creative medias, or you deal with your frustration maybe as far as indulging into drugs, because Pisces energy, 12th house energy, deals with seclusion and delusionary energy. So you thinking that you need to reach a certain high every single time is a delusional energy, but that's also how you deal with your frustration and your anger, and that's how you portray it. Now that's basically the energy of Mars and how it plays out. Now, Mars going into the sign of Taurus. Now, what's Taurus? Taurus deals with financial stability. Taurus also deals with the planet Venus. So Taurus is love to have everything be beautified. It's an earth element, so it's dealing with structure, it's dealing with practicality, it's dealing with logic, it's dealing with being able to being able to go inside of yourself and be able to logically think things out instead of basing everything off of an emotional response. Now Taurus, and it's fixated too, so it's a stability kind of foundation. What I'm saying is they are gonna stick to whatever energy they need to jump into in order for things to be beautified in a structural way, and in a way to where it makes sense. Like music. Tauruses would really, if they are into a musical craft, they will really put in the time to perfect, practice, aka shape up the beauty that they're trying to portray, which is the Venus aspect too. So, Mars and Taurus. Mars and Taurus, this is the way that we're going to be as a collective jumping into energies of reaching our goals, expressing our passion, or even ways that we deal with frustration is going to be within the Taurus energy. So we may be passionate about musical endeavors right now as far as perfecting whatever craft that we're in. We may be also jumping into our goal-oriented energy and the drive to be able to reach these goals based upon having a foundation, being even financially stable too. So people's goals this time around with Mars going into Taurus, a lot of people might be driven to want to foundate themselves on a comfortable level, because the moon is exalted in Taurus too. So, and the moon deals with comfortability and nourishment and emotions and reactions. So with Mars going into the sign of Taurus, you're going to be driven to want to satisfy that comfort within whatever situation you're going on, whether it's financial, whether it's relationship wise, whether it's emotional wise, all of that stuff. You want that stuff to be secure in a practical way. And we're going to be very much driven to want to jump towards this kind of energy of wanting to be driven to reach our goals. Now, let's talk about the aspect of Mars as far as its configuration within the sign of Taurus. Mars is actually debilitated, detriment, or away, whatever you want to call it, in the sign of Taurus. Because Venus rules Taurus, and the opposite energy of Venus, which is love, appreciation, courtesy, charity, art, beauty in any kind of way, is your own individual passion. Not caring about being relatable, but trying to jump into the energy of reaching your own goals and jumping into your own passions and the things that you're passionate about, and pushing people out the way like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm trying to reach this pot of gold that I see right in front of my face, and it's a straight shot. So Mars being away in Taurus, what this means is that it may be harder for you to actually try to be in that space of rushing towards your own individual goals, because your goals are going to be based upon securing yourself and others in a relatable way, or going out your way in order to just be secure on a financial or a earth level. But Mars wants to it doesn't even really sometimes care about pardon me, stability in that kind of way, as far as like, oh, do I look nice to other people? Or is my status a certain way based upon things that I have obtained in my life, or resources, or certain valuable resources? Mars more so deals with like their own drive to want to create a vision. They're not really caring about, they do care about stability, and they do care about financial, fulfillment and comfortability within, family values, and being comfortable within bills being paid and shit like that, all these attributes that deal with the Taurus energy. But it's not as strong as if Mars was in Aries, Scorpio, or Capricorn. Because what happens is that Mars is in a place where it's harder for them, like I said, it's harder for them to just focus on their own individual goal. Their goals are based upon keeping things secure, yes, for themselves, but for other people around them too. And they don't mind doing this, but this isn't always their, natural energy. Martian energy is not always naturally supposed to be in Taurus. And then it's also not supposed to naturally be in Libra, but that's another video too. Now, as far as individual houses, it just depends. If you have Taurus in the first house, Mars is transitioning in your first house, this means that you're going to be driven to want to reach a goal of appearing like you have your shit together on a financial level. And then Mars is actually at home in the first house. So already this kind of creates like a little like struggle. Like your goal is going to be based upon you trying to look, which is the first house deals with the ascendant, which is your outward appearance, which is people's first impression of you. Your goals are going to be more driven towards wanting to appear like you have your shit secured on a Taurus level. As far as like things being emotionally secure, things being, beautified, looking good for other people and everything like that. So almost in a way, it's almost like your goal will be to try to impress people in a lot of different ways. If you had like Taurus in the second house, and if you have Taurus in the second house, this is kind of like a double configuration, because your goal is being fixated on a way to obtain your resources and be able to keep them as far as something that you could have as value, something that could, appreciate, asset appreciation. It could be a form of asset appreciation. You know what I'm saying? And it really just all depends on which house you have Taurus in. If you have it in the third house, then your goal is going to be to want to obtain security within your friend group, or your siblings, or if you're in school or if you're in college, your goal may be try to secure some sort of security in whatever school you're going to, as far as like good grades, as far as even your reputation at school. So it could play out in a lot of different ways, because the third house deals with your surroundings, and school could be a part of your surroundings too. But like I said, this is just all a basic part of the Mars and Taurus energy. Mars is a little weaker in Taurus because Mars, it's not obtaining goals just for its own individual sake. It's kind of like it's building a foundation for itself, but also other people around, because Venus deals with harmony and bringing people together and relatability. So it all plays out in these different ways, but I'm going to cut this off, and I'm going to come back later, make another video talking about spiritual coordination part 2, and then we're going to call it a day. All right, I'll catch y'all later. Make sure y'all check out the Instagram page. Make sure y'all check out the BeThe All Consultant page. I'm going to put link in my email and all that good stuff. All right, y'all take care.